He's 6', 175-pound junior, Joel Montgomery. The right guard, number 53, a 5'10", 180-pound senior, Stu Hackett.
Look in that bag.
The right tackle will be number 62, a 5'10", 175-pound junior, Brell Spees. We'll also see number 77 in there, Sheldon Rothschild. At wide receiver, going to be number 12, a 6', 160-pound junior, Trenton Colby. At tight end, could be number 45, a 5'10", 180-pound junior, Aaron Moss, or number 10, a 6'1", 180-pound senior, Logan Zabel. At the running backs, we'll see number 3, a 5-pound senior, Ethan Peter. Here, Heston Maxwell. We'll also see Moss move back from that tight end spot and play some fullback as well. Kind of depends on how Heston's doing after he tweaked that ankle last week. Looking at the Blue Jay defense, going to be number 50, the front line. They're running a 5-man front tonight against the Redmen. Number 58, a 5'9", 180-pound senior, Zach Rao. Number 50, a 6'5", 245-pound sophomore, Christian Hawks. Number 60, a 6'1", 275-pound junior, Dante Smith. Number 78, a 5'8", 180-pound sophomore, Aiden Wicker. And number 11, a 6'6", 225-pound senior, Hayden Wiltfong. The linebackers, number 57, a 5'10", 205-pound senior, Brady Sumner. And number 17, a 6'1", 175-pound junior, Brandon Vasura. The defensive backs, number 1, a 6', 165-pound junior, Cade Melvin. Number 5, a 5'6", 150-pound junior, Carter Jones. Number 6, a 5'11", 155-pound junior, Devin Gasper. And number 8, a 5'10", 160-pound junior, Connor Hairsnape. On the offensive side of things for the Blue Jays tonight, it looks like up front, going to be number 50, a 6'5", 245-pound sophomore, Christian Hawks. Number 54, a 5'8", 205-pound junior, Alex Ocker. Number 57, a 5'10", 205-pound senior, Brady Sumner. Number 58, a 5'9", 180-pound senior, Zach Rao. And number 60, a 6'1", 275-pound Dante Smith. Wide receivers looks like number 5, a 5'6", 150-pound junior, Carter Jones. And number 8, a 5'10", 160-pound junior, Connor Hairsnape. The tight end, number 11, a 6'6", 225-pound senior, Hayden Wiltfong. The running backs will be number 21, a 5'10", 165-pound junior, Tucker Faunensteel, and number 10, a 6', 185-pound sophomore, Gavin Sproul. The quarterback will be number 1, a 6', 165-pound junior, Cade Melvin. For the Redmen defensively, that 4-3 defense looks like number 58, a 6'1", 240-pound senior, Austin Hobelman. Number 53, a 5'10", 180-pound senior. Number 66, a 6', 175-pound junior, Joel Montgomery. Number 65, a 6', 200-pound sophomore, Charlie Timmons, make up the front four. The linebackers, number 24, a 5'10", 180-pound senior, Ethan Peterson. Number 45, a 5'10", 180-pound junior, Aaron Moss. And number 30, a 6', 215-pound senior, Heston Maxwell. The secondary consists of number 43, a 5'10", 155-pound senior, Colby Benoit. Number 9, a 6'1", 160-pound senior, Reese Buckmaster. Number 12, a 6', 160-pound junior, Trenton Colby. And number 1, a 5'5", 130-pound junior, Colton Shoemaker. Robbie, let's get your players to watch here.
Well, for the Blue Jays, this home team, we're going with the quarterback, Caden Melvin. Last year, he played wide receiver. He's stepping back to that quarterback role. Last year as a wide receiver, he's in this year's wide receiver players to watch list. So he's taking a big step into that quarterback role. He has to get things going quickly and try to get this offense running efficiently for this Blue Jay team. Then we're going to the offensive side for the Redmen as well. We're going with running back Ethan Peterson, as last week he had a big game. He looks like he's going to be the workhorse for this Redmen offense, as he got a lot of carries and he was just chunking yards out just a little bit by little bit. He looks to probably have a big game here tonight. The conditions are right for running backs to really get in a groove, as it's a cool night. It's not real hot for them. Their muscles are going to be more relaxed. They should be able to get a little bit better going here, and that's what I have for players to watch.
All right, once again, the Blue Jays, head coached by Lucas Melvin, in his 12th season at the helm, 89 wins to 39 losses. For the Redmen, they are head coached by Darren Sass in his 6th season, 44 wins to 13 losses, including last year's state championship. Helping Coach Melvin, it's going to be Tony Fiskus, Jeremy Hawks, Alan Neal, and Kevin Joka. For the Redmen, the assistants are Mike Rogers, Brock Hutchinson, Sean Stansberry, Matt Hack, and Cody Molzon. We are getting set here for this matchup tonight. Again, the number 1 team in Class 1A, the Smith Center Redmen, take on the Norton Bluejays at Travis Field. Taking a look at the Mid-Continent League as a whole, well, the other game, but tonight in 8-man action, we see Trigo at Hill City and Sylvan Lucas at Stockton. In 11-man play, this game, plus Plainville is at Phillipsburg. That's the number 1 team in Class 2A, hosting the number 4 team in Class 1A, so a great battle there in Phillipsburg tonight. Oakley is at Syracuse, and Ellis is at TMP. Looking at the rankings for the Mid-Continent League, well, just the 3 teams are ranked as of right now. Phillipsburg number 1 in 2A, Smith Center number 1 in 1A, and Plainville number 4 in Class 1A. So just the 3 teams ranked as of right now, and leading the way are those 3 teams in the league, as they are all 1-0 in the Mid-Continent League. Oakley has not played a league team yet, so they set 4th in the league standings. Then Norton, Ellis, and TMP all with the 1 loss last week. So that's how the league standings look as of right now, as we get set once again here for tonight's matchup. The last time these 2 teams played a year ago, and the Smith Center Redmen won 43-0 at Hubbard Stadium. We're going to take a timeout here for the national anthem. When we come back, we'll have the opening kickoff for tonight. Welcome back on this Friday evening. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson as we're just about to kick off time here from Travis Field in Norton, as the Norton Bluejays host the Smith Center Redmen tonight. As Robbie, we've kind of talked about it a little bit already. This is always a great matchup. No matter the year, no matter the players, these 2 teams come out and we know we're going to see some hard-hitting action.
That's exactly right. This game every year brings out the physicality. Words are hard here tonight already. But these 2 teams really bring it out of each other. They bring every single hit, it seems like, is going to be a hard one. And you see some big hits early in the season between these 2 teams. No love lost between the teams, and it's going to be a great game because of it.
Well, you look at the Redmond defense, 0 points last week, negative yardage. Not bad for the first game out.
I'm sure Coach Hess really was shaking his head on that one. But, you know, that's a big one for the Redmen to get. Started the season off, negative yards, not allowing TMP to really move the ball anywhere.
2 first downs.
And only 2 first downs. I knew it wasn't going to be very high. I hadn't looked at the actual stats there. But that's a big one for any team to come out and get right off the bat. Because there was a lot of questions about this Redmond team coming in. Because everybody was like, is this going to be a complete rebuild this year? Well, the defense kind of showed up and said, we're not ready to stop what happened last year and let it just roll over this year. So they're going to have a big test here tonight to see if they can continue that trend going forward.
heard with the talk with Coach Melvin that, Plainville scored, but 3 of the touchdowns were passing touchdowns from Tennessee to Crawford, and a lot of that was defensive breakdown. He felt that, they cleaned some things up. That could have been a different game last week. But it's the first week. You're going to see some penalties. You're going to see some mistakes that you're not going to see throughout the rest of the year. We hear all the time, the biggest improvement for a team is from week 1 to week 2. And I know Coach Melvin really hopes that holds true this week for his team.
And you're exactly right. That's exactly when the biggest improvement is, because you haven't played a game yet. You come in and you see that first game film, and you get everything figured out. You come into week 2 after another week's full of practice of getting everything ironed out. So you should see the biggest improvement between week 1 and week 2. But every coach, they always say, take it day by day. We got to get better than we were yesterday. And that's exactly what this Norton team has to do, and being mentally strong to improve from last week to this week.
And you look at the Redmen. They had a few mistakes as well. Colby Benoit, probably the most frustrated kid in the state, is every time he made a big play, it seemed like it was coming back because of a penalty. Returned that opening kickoff, 94 yards to the house. It got called back. Had that big reception from Reese Buckmaster. It got called back. So the Redmen, they got a few things to clean up as well.
You're right. There were first game jitters. You can tell that. Penalties like those, okay, you're out of position. Let's get this worked out. And it's going to be like you said. You're going to have that improvement from week 1 to week 2. And I'm sure Coach Sass and the coaching crew over there have done the same exact thing as the Norton coaching crew did. Sat there, watched game film, dissect the game film, and figured out, okay, this is what we got to work on, this is what we have to improve on, and got all that figured out and got it going in the right direction here for this week.
Well, we see the captains out there right now for both teams. For the Blue Jays, it is number 1, Cade Melvin, number 11, Hayden Wiltfong, along with number 57, Brady Sumner, and number 58, Zach Rao. For the Redmen, it's number 9, Reese Buckmaster, number 24, Ethan Peterson, number 43, Colby Benoit, and number 58, Austin Obelman. As the Redmen in their road white jerseys, red numbers, green trim. The Blue Jays in their home blue jerseys, white numbers, and the gold trim. As the coin toss is taking place right now. So, Robbie, you keep an eye on that for us. As, again, we are getting set here. It's the number 1 team in Class 1A, the Smith Center Redmen. They are the defending state champions. They come off a 45-0 win over the TMP Monarchs 1 week ago. They get set to take on the Norton Bluejays here in Norton at Travis Field, as the Blue Jays come into this matchup 0-1 on the season after their loss last week to Plainville, 31-14. Robbie, how'd the toss look?
Oh, it looks like Redmond will be receiving this. Not sure if they won the kick there, but definitely got the decision going in their favor to get that offense out here and try to duplicate last week's kickoff performance.
Without the flag this time.
Well, without the flag, yeah.
And it looked like the Redmen are going to go left to right on your radio dial to start this ball game, as we are just about set for kickoff. Once again, the Redmen in those road white jerseys, red numbers, green trim. The Blue Jays in their home blue jerseys, white numbers, and the gold trim. So this is a beautiful night. A little cloudy. You could have a little bit of sunlight coming through, but temperature-wise, man, it does not seem like it's the first week in September.
It really doesn't. It looks like it's a perfect night for football, what it is.
Yeah.
It's not too cold, not too hot. You can be out here in a light jacket and be just fine. Probably going to be that way all throughout the game. And, of course, they're going to love it. This is the first time it's been this cold for them. They're going to not be dying underneath those pads of sweat and everything. So the players, they're going to come out more relaxed. They're going to come out a little bit fired up because of that as well. And they're going to be looking to make these big hits happen a little bit harder tonight because of that cold. The other team's going to feel it just a little bit more.
Well, we get set for the opening kickoff. Once again, the Redmen will be going left to right on your radio dial. It is Colby Benoit and Trenton Colby back deep. They're both standing at their own 20-yard line, getting set for this kickoff. Kicking off for the Norton Blue Jays is Tyson Glennemeyer as he gets his team set to go here. There is the about set for the opening kickoff, and Glennemeyer's kick is going to go shallow. It looks like Benoit picks it up at the 30. He's got a wall. He's at the 35-40. 45-51, man to beat. He's at the 40. 35-30. 25-20. 15-10-5. Colby Benoit, touchdown, Redman.
Well, this week there's no on the field. That was a little pooch kick right over the middle. speedbacks not to come up and grab that. Speedbacks, both of them right there, one bounce right into their hands, and just off through the middle of the race was Colby Benoit right through the middle of the field, taking it all the way to the house. Beat a couple tacklers as they're right there and hit him, but Colby Benoit just able to bounce off and take it off to the house.
75-yard kick return for the Redmen. Colby Benoit to the house once again. Same thing as last week. A lot shorter this time, though.
Well, the Blue Jays, I like what they've done there. They went try to catch the front two line and just dropped it down, but both speedbacks seen it happening and just ran up there. Colby Benoit able to grab just a little bit ahead and take off full steam down the field.
So Moss gets set for the extra point. There's a snap, hold is down, kick is up, and it is going to be good. So we are now at a score of 7-0. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Bluejays. So we'll take a timeout here. We'll be back with more from the first quarter right after this as you're listening to football on 92.5 KQMA.
Well, Redmen started off real fine there. Great way to start off. Come down, no flags. Excellent. I'd like to thank our sponsors who helped make this possible. Benita Tompkins Memorial, Huffman's Floor Covering, the People's Bank, State Line Properties, Michael Shannon McDowell, attorney, Kimmenberg Phelps, John Overmiller, Midwest Family Health, the Smith Center, LLC, Jones Machinery Incorporated, and a new sponsor this week, the Eye Care Center. Thank you so much.
Welcome back to Travis Field. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson. Just 13 seconds off the clock, and the Smith Center Redmen lead 7-0 off a 75-yard kick return by Colby Benoit. Now Aaron Moss getting set to kick off for the Redmen. To receive for the Blue Jays, it looks like Cade Melvin back there. As the Blue Jays go right to left on your radio dial, Moss has a great kick, pushes them all the way back to the goal line, as that is Gasper. He's at the 20, and that's where he's going to be brought down, as Gasper able to get back out to the 20-yard line. Excuse me, that was actually number 5, Carter Jones, on the return.
Jones not an inch to spare there on that kick. That back foot landed right in front of the goal line, maybe if not on it. Otherwise, that would have been a touchback, and the Blue Jays would have been pushed back just a little bit farther, but otherwise, good job on bringing that out.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Norton Blue Jays from their own 20-yard line. 11:40 left to go here in the first quarter. 7-0, the Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Blue Jays. Melvin under center. He's got a man to the left, man to the right. Hand off up the middle. That is Fawn and Steele, and he's going to be met by a couple of the Redmen defenders. Gain of 4 on the play. 2nd down and 6.
Nice hole there for Fawn and Steele to go through. Those Norton Blue Jay offensive linemen fired off and created a nice little gap for him to fly through. Redmen able to close it off fairly quick on 4 yards, but that gap to start off was big.
Man to the left, man to the right. Wiltfong, the tight end on the left side. I formation behind Melvin as he's under center. He awaits the snap. There it is. He's going to hand it off again to the I back. That time, Fawn and Steele. Not a lot going off of that left side this time. Able to pick up about a yard up to the 25.
That time the Redmen defensive line got to push, and then they've done a good job on the outside. The defensive end there stepped up, made them Fawn Steele have to cut back in through that line instead of extending that play to the outside, and that allowed the Redmen defense to bring him down with only a yard gain.
Going to bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Blue Jays as Hare Snape split out to the right. Looks like Jones and Gasper to the left. Melvin has it. He rolls to the right, looking to pass. Passes off, and it's tipped by Trenton Colby. And the Redmen defense able to tip that one as Wiltfong was the intended receiver. As I saw the Redmen sideline jump up and down because there are a couple of Redmen in the area to try to pick that one off.
Well, they're in the right area. It hit that one. Trenton Colby just lost track of it as it went above his head. Came back down on his backside. Melvin, though, under a lot of pressure as he had Austin Holdman coming in hard on him.
So the Blue Jays getting set to punt here. Have 10:23 left to go in this first quarter. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Blue Jays 7-0 on a 75-yard kick return by Colby Benoit to start this ball game. Punt is off, and it is a high punt. The Redmen back away from it and the Blue Jays takes a Blue Jay bounce down to the Blue Jay 49-yard line.
Not a great punt for the Blue Jays. Got high instead of went deep, but got a nice little bounce for him and taking a little some extra yards to put the Redmen, well, just on inside the side of the field there. So the Blue Jay defense get a stop.
So the drive of the night for the Redman offense, as we'll see Reese Buckmaster bring his team to the line. It looks like it's going to be to the right. Peterson, Maxwell, and Benoit in the behind Buckmaster. Moss tied in on the left side. First down and 10 for the Redmen from the Blue Jay 49-yard line. Buckmaster waits a snap for Montgomery. There it is. Going to hand it off to Benoit. Benoit gets a block. Then he gets tripped up in the backfield. Nice play that time by the Blue Jay defense as Smith brought him down, but he was tripped up in the backfield, I believe, by Lively, the first one to trip him up.
Not a lot going there as Benoit quickly got one of his foot caught and went kind of just stumbled forward gaining a yard. But the Blue Jay defensive line fired right through that gap there on the backside.
So it brings up second down and 9 after the gain of 1 for Colby Benoit. Trenton Colby split out to the right. Mossa tied in on the left side. Wishbone set behind Buckmaster once again. There's the snap. They hand it off to Maxwell, and they handed off to Peterson, excuse me. Had me faked out that time. First fake out of the season, as I thought Maxwell had it, but Peterson went off the left side. Gets up to the 46-yard line, gain of 2 on the play, third down and 7.
Well, it was a good fake there by Maxwell as he did look like he had it. He rolled over that one perfectly, and some of the Blue Jay defenders thought he had it as well as Maxwell was on the ground as well as Peterson. But Peterson did a nice job gaining a couple yards.
Griffin Kugler split out to the right this time. Moss tied in on the left side. Buck still Peterson, Max are the backs. This time they do hand off to Maxwell. He bowls his way forward. Going to pick up another couple on the play. Sumner there, along with on the tackle. It's going to bring up fourth down and 3. So gain of a couple that time for Maxwell. Going to again bring up fourth down and 3. 8:35 left to go in this first quarter. The Smith Center Blue Jays 7-0. Trenton Colby split out to the right. Aaron Mossa tied in on the left side. Maxwell, Peterson, and Benoit, the wishbone set behind Buckmaster. Buckmaster awaits the snap from Montgomery. There it is. They hand it off to Peterson off the left side. He breaks a couple tackles. Lively brings him, or Fauna still brings him down, but not until he picks up the first down. So that moves the chains for the Redmen. Fourth play of the drive, and they pick up the first down.
Peterson, nice job there. Had a hole to go through. It quickly exploded through that hole. Got the first down and got a couple of extra yards afterwards, but that hole for Peterson to slip through opened up nicely for him, where it was a quick, easy read.
8:10 left to go in the first quarter. 7-0 the score. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Bluejays. Kugler split out to the right. Wishbone set behind Buckmaster. There's a snap. They go off the right side with Benoit. He cuts it all the way to the outside. He's got a blocker. He's at the 25-20. Cuts back 15, 10-5. Touchdown, Redmen.
That was the first time so far in this drive that the Blue Jay defensive line got kind of blown up a little bit, but they had a nice push on the other side of the line. They should have had the other side to get that push. But either way, the Redmen this time doing a good job on that line, sealing off that end and letting Colby Benoit jump out to the outside.
So Colby Benoit scores his second touchdown of the ball game. This time a 36-yard run with 7:49 left to go in the first quarter. The Redmen on the board after a 5-play drive went 49 yards.
Moss is out there for the field goal attempt here again.
As Trenton Colby is a holder. Ball is down, kick is up, and it is good once again. So with 7:49 left to go in this first quarter, the Smith Center Redmen on the board after a 36-yard run by Colby Benoit. 15-0. We'll be back with more from the first quarter field. You're listening to Redmen football on 92.5 KQMA.
Another touchdown there for the Redmen. Good to see. Rocking things up here at Blue Jay Stadium. Travis Field. Some of our sponsors are the Ruth Beach Memorial, the Holtus Boys. Give a shout out to Mitch and LD. Lyle and Michael. Michael had a birthday. The Eye Care Center. Midway Chiropractic. Catherine McCary. 3rd Street.
Welcome back on this Friday evening. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson as the Smith Center Redmen now lead the Norton Bluejays 14-0 after a 36-yard run by Colby Benoit. Put the Redmen on top. It was a 5-play drive that went 49 yards in 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Aaron Moss's extra point was good. Again, making our score 14-0. 7:49 left to go here in the first quarter. Melvin and Jones back deep to receive the kick once again. Jones pushed all the way back to the 1-yard line once again. He's at the 5, up to the 10, 15, 20. Breaks one tackle, and he's going to get up to about the 24-yard line. Nice return that time by Jones.
Jones had one defender to beat before he hit a hole going down the Redmond sideline. That one defender able to just grab hold of ankles, and that was Griffin Kugler on that for the Redmond. They made that tackle. All he had was Jones' ankles. Otherwise, Jones had a wall going to the sideline.
So the Norton Bluejays start at their own, call it 23-yard line is where they're going to spot him down at. As Cade Melvin brings his team to the line. I formation, Wilfong tight end on the left side. Man split out to the left, man split out to the right. There's a snap. Melvin hands it off up the middle to the fullback. Nothing going there as the Redmond defense swarmed Gavin Sproul that time.
Sproul no longer got the handoff, hit the line of scrimmage, and there was a wall of Redmond defenders there to wrap him up and pull him down, as I believe it was about 5 different Redmen that grabbed a hold of him all at one time.
Harrison Ape comes out. Gasper comes in with the play for the Blue Jay offense. 7:18 left to go in the first quarter. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Bluejays 14-0 here at Travis Field in Norton. Gasper split out to the right. It looks like Jones split out to the left. I formation behind Melvin as he's under center. Wilfong the tight end on the right side. Melvin gets the snap, fakes the handoff. He's looking to pass. Goes over the middle, has Wilfong on the sideline. Nice big hit there on the sideline. Incomplete pass, as that was Reese Buckmaster with the hit, along with also out there is Logan Zabel. So Zabel and Buckmaster able to jar that ball loose before Wilfong could come down with the completion.
Wilfong did have that ball in his hand, started making a turn with that, and Buckmaster coming in and just laying a leveling hit and jarring that ball free. Otherwise, Wilfong had a completion out there on the sideline, but Buckmaster saying not today.
Twins to the right, twins to the left. We have a whistle here. Official timeout. Looks like now we're ready to go. Again, twins to the left, twins to the right. Melvin's in shotgun. Has a man standing to the right of him. 3rd down and 9 for the Blue Jay offense. Melvin under pressure quickly. Tries to get out of the pocket and not going to be able to get back to the line of scrimmage as Atwood, Zabel, along with Hobelman. Also in there on the play was Joel Montgomery. So the defense able to come up big that time, pushes the Blue Jays back to the 20-yard line. 4th down and long now for the Blue Jays.
Melvin done everything he could in his power to try to get out of that. Cut back, and all of a sudden there was another Redmond defender try to make another cut, and that defender was able to make a hit on him, and then just swarm tackled the Redmond hit.
6:20 left to go in the first quarter. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Bluejays 14-0 as the Blue Jays back to punt, and Colby Benoit back deep to receive the punt for the Redmen. Ball drops down and takes a Blue Jay bounce down to the Redmen 45-yard line, and that's where they will down it, and the Redmen will take over possession of the ball there at their own 45.
The Redmen that time went for a blocked punt, but the Blue Jays able to get that punt off and get a fairly decent one, flip the field position just a little bit here, try to give their defense a little bit more room to work with. But once again, Redmen went for that block. Blue Jays done a nice job holding off a little bit, just long enough to get and flip field position.
So the Redmen have it 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. 6:05 left to go in the first quarter. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Blue Jays 14-0. Trenton Colby split out to the right. Looks like Aaron Moss will be the tight end on the left side. Maxwell, Benoit, and Peterson, the wishbone set behind Buckmaster. He awaits the snap from Montgomery. There's a snap. They're going to hand it off to Peterson. Peterson off the left side, gets a block. It's off to the races. 45, 40, 30, 35, 20, 25, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Redmen.
And once again, no flags on the field for the Redmen on that one as Peterson got to the outside and just took off downfield, able to get a nice run on it.
55-yard touchdown for Ethan Peterson. Puts the Redmen up 20-0.
As Carter Jones was right there with Peterson, running along and trying to kind of push him out of bounds there. just came up a little bit short on it. Otherwise, Jones in the right position trying to make a play.
So, see what the Redmen do here. It looks like they are going to kick the extra point as Maxwell is the long snapper. Trenton Colby is the holder, and Aaron Moss is the kicker. Hold is down, kick is up, and this one is going to be no good. So with 5:51 left to go in the first quarter, the Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Bluejays 20-0. We'll take a timeout here. We'll be back with more first quarter action right after this as you're listening to Redmen Football on 92.5 KQMA.
Some of our sponsors here. Kingsbury Service, Marty and Rhett Kingsbury, Cannon Diane Deputy, Neil Karen Herndon, the Oklahoma Mayor, Simmons Menschler Mortuary, Lowe's TV, Downtown Center, and Gary and Brenda Freeland. If you'd like to be a sponsor, you can send money to Smith Center Junior Senior High School, 300 Roger Bottom Way, Smith Center, Kansas, 66967. Like to believe that in there? Hey, we'll have one.
Lead 20-0 over the Norton Bluejays after a 55-yard run by Ethan Peterson. That drive, one play, 55 yards in 14 seconds. Again puts the Redmen up now 20-0 as Aaron Moss getting set to kick off for the Redmen once again here. Back deep to receive once again is Jones and Melvin for the Bluejays. Moss's kick goes left to right on your radio dial. Puts this one down, and Jones picks it up at the 10. He's at the 15-20, gets a blocker. He's up to the 30, and spins out of a tackle. Puts the ball on the field, but he's able to jump back on it. So it will be the best starting field position of the ball game so far for the Bluejays, as it looks like they're going to spot him down at the 28-yard line.
The Blue Jays kick return, that little wedge that they formed there for him, is doing a great job creating a little gap for him to slip through, able to open up that gap, and they get a couple yards afterwards, but the Redmen just stay in their lane so well coming down the field that they're able to close it off, but that wedge is doing a good job.
High formation behind Melvin as a man split to the left and one to the right. Melvin awaits the snap. There it is. They flip it out to the outside to Fawn and Steele. He cuts back, and he's going to be brought down in the backfield as Atwood and Zabel there once again as Atwood coming from that defensive tackle position and Zabel from the linebacker position. So loss of 3 is going to bring up second down and 13 with 5:20 left to go in the first quarter. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Bluejays 20-0.
Smith Center does something a lot of teams don't see with those defensive tackles, is they're normally small guys, line up in a 4-point stance, and they shoot the gaps quick and hard. And a lot of teams aren't ready for that, as they're not used to seeing someone that small right there in the middle of the line.
Hare Snape to the right, Jones and Gasper to the left. Fawn still stands in the backfield. Melvin under center. We do have a timeout here. And let's see what this flag is all about. Going to be delay a game on the Blue Jays. So that'll push them back to the 20. So now instead of second down and 13, it'll be second down and 15. Excuse me, 18. I forgot it was second down and 13. So second down and 18 for the Blue Jays. Now Melvin stands in shotgun, has twins to the left, one man to the right. Fawn and Steele stands next to him. He hands off to Fawn and Steele. He's going to pick up 2 on the play up to the 22-yard line. Going to bring up third down and 16. 4:23 left to go in the first quarter. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Blue Jays 20-0. As the Blue Jays bring in Ryan Schrum. He brings the play in. He's split out to the left along with Jones. Wiltfong and Hare Snape to the right. Fawn and Steele stands to the left of Melvin in shotgun. There's the snap. Melvin looks right, goes right, has Wiltfong. He's at the 20, breaks one tackle, spin move up to the 25, and he's going to pick up 3 on the play. Still going to be 4th down and long, though, for the Blue Jays.
Nice little bubble screen. double bubble screen play there by the Blue Jays. Both outside wide receivers came curling over top of the inside receivers as the inside was cutting towards the outside, trying to make blocks, both being able to go up, catch the pass, and get a couple yards off of it.
So Trenton Colby and Colby Benoit drop back deep to receive the punt for the Redmen. Sumner getting set to punt once again for the Blue Jays. There's a snap. Sumner kicks this one off, and it's going to go out of bounds. And let's see where they spot him down at. Looks like at the Blue Jay 48-yard line.
Line drive punt there by the Blue Jays. Didn't get all of that one as that ball probably just barely got above the line's head and just stayed on a straight line right towards the sideline, hit one bounce, and right into the coach's hands there for the Redmen. Not one punt that he was looking for, I'm sure, but got the Redmen pushed back a little bit to where they've not been starting so far here on these drives.
Well, the 7th play of the ball game for the Redmen as they lead the Norton Blue Jays 20-0 with 3:12 left to go in the first quarter. Trenton Colby split out to the right. Aaron Moss tied in on the left side. Wishbone set behind Buckmaster. There's the snap. They hand it off to Colby. That's Colby Benoit. He's on his feet still. He's at the 30, 25-20, 15-10, 5 touchdown Redmen.
Nice move there by Colby Benoit. Was cutting to the outside, seen a defender. Defender went to grab him, and he's all of a sudden right back to the inside, right back around to the outside. Made a little move, got an opening, and just took off downfield. Nice run by Colby Benoit.
Well, it's his second rushing touchdown, third touchdown overall of the ball game for Colby Benoit. Having a nice first quarter here for the Redmen offense is Colby Benoit. As they now lead at 26-0 over the Norton Blue Jays here at Travis Field in Norton. So one play, 48 yards for the Redmen that time. It's Aaron Moss getting set to kick once again. Maxwell snap is down, up, and the extra point is no good.
Moss must just be pulling these off to the side there and going right over top of the post, because from here they look good, but the refs right underneath the goalpost, they have the best view of it, and they're saying no good.
So with 2:59 left to go in the first quarter, the Smith Center Redmen now lead the Norton Blue Jays 26-0. We'll be back with more from the first quarter right after this as you're listening to Redmen Football on 92.5 KQMA.
Well, Redmen are rolling here. 26-0 with 2:59. Didn't know how things would shape up here, but it really looks like Redmen got a rolling season this year. For those who are interested, on Tuesday, when Redmen be headed down to TMP and playing against Ellis, TMP and Phillipsburg. Phillipsburg played with Minden last night, a real tough Minden team. And lost, that was their first loss of the season. That's 3-5. Nebraska and Singles. So I hope you all can come out there around Lady Red, play at 4 o'clock against TMP at the big old gym. There at TMP.
Welcome back to Travis Field in Norton. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson. 2:59 left to go in the first quarter. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Blue Jays 26-0. Aaron Moss getting set to kick left to right on your radio dial. Back deep to receive the kick for the Blue Melvin and Jones. Melvin going to pick it up at the 3s to the 5, up to the 10, follows his blockers up to the 20. He's on his feet 25-30, and that's where he's going to be brought down, is just across the 30-yard line. So every return, the Blue Jays keep getting a little further.
And that wedge there, once again, the first Redman down the field got caught up in that wedge and just got blown out of the way for Jones. Jones made a nice move on that one and took off upfield, and you're right. Every return, they're getting a little bit farther down the field. The Redmen have to make sure they're staying in their lanes coming down there and try to avoid that wedge at all costs, because he's doing a great job.
Jones split out to the left, Hairsnape to the right. I formation behind Cade Melvin as he's under center. 1st and 10 for the Norton Blue Jays from their own 31-yard line. They go right to left on your radio dials. They're going to hand it off to Faunensteel. Faunensteel off the right side, still on his feet, up to the 40. And he's going to be close to the first down. And judging by the marker here, looks like the Blue Jays just picked up their first down of the ball game. But Faunensteel slow to get up, as he just had an 11-yard run, and now Faunensteel slow to get up as he's getting helped off the field here. We, of course, hope everything is all right with Tucker Faunensteel.
You're right there. We hope everything is fine with him. Kind of has looks like the right leg maybe up in the air a little bit. So making sure that he is going to be all right there as the coaches got out there quickly to him. So making sure that he's going to be okay and, well, hopefully for quick healing for him.
So it looks like Ryan Lively going to come into the ball. Fawnen's still getting carried off the field. After that 11-yard gain by Tucker Fawnen, still the first down of the ball game for the Blue Jays. They now have 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. 2:39 left to go here in the first quarter. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Bluejays 26-0. Hairsnape split out to the left. It looks like also coming out to the left is Gasper. Jones split out to the right. I formation behind Lively, or behind Melvin. Lively dotting the I. Melvin can hand it off to Lively. He's met in the backfield this time. He's going to lose a couple on the play back to the 40. This time Joel Montgomery meets him in the backfield.
Lively no longer got that ball put into his chest, and Montgomery putting a big hit on him and dropping him right in his tracks.
So, loss of 2 on the play. Going to be 2nd down and 12 for the Blue Jays. 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Blue Jays 26-0. It looks like on the front line for the Redmen right now, Montgomery, along with Spees, Hobelman, and Timmons. The linebackers are Zabel, Moss, and Peterson. The secondary, Benoit, Buckmaster, Trenton Colby, and Griffin Kugler. As Melvin is back to pass, he's looking, goes over the middle. It's tipped by Zabel, and Trenton Colby just couldn't quite haul that one in as Zabel reached his hand out there and tipped that one.
Zabel just getting a fingertip on that one, as that's all he needed to change the path of that pass. Otherwise, it could have been a very good pass for the Blue Jays, but Zabel playing that middle linebacker spot to perfection so far.
Minute 31 left to go here in the first quarter. 26-0 is our score. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Blue Jays. 3rd down and 12 is what the Blue Jays face. Ball at their own 40-yard line. As Hairsnape along with Jones. Also out there is a Gasper, so trips to the right. Wiltfong to the left. Melvin in shotgun, looks left, rolls left. He's under pressure as Hobelman tries to track him down from the backside. And Melvin still on his feet, breaks a couple tackles. Now he's got an opening. He's got blockers in front of him. He's at the 45-50. 45, cuts back 40, pushed out of bounds finally by Griffin Kugler. What a great play by Melvin.
Melvin had a great play there, keeping the ball alive. He had every Redmond defensive lineman, there, chasing after him, able to keep his feet moving and move the chains.
What a great play by Cade Melvin as he got the ball up to the 35-yard line. So the first time the Blue Jays have been in Redmond territory this ball game comes with a minute 12 left to go in the first quarter. And the Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Blue Jays 26-0. One man split out to the left. That's Jones. Twins to the right. Lively stands to the left of Melvin in shotgun. 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays from the Redmond 35-yard line. Lively's going to get it. He's going to bounce it to the outside on the right. And he's going to be brought down quickly by Benoit. As Lively picks up, we're going to call it gain of 2 on the play. So 2nd down and 8 for the Blue Jays.
Lively, not a whole lot of room to go on that outside. Able to get a couple yards off it. Doing everything that he could, but just getting drugged down.
Sproul comes back into the game. Lively going to come to the sideline, take a quick breather. 40 seconds and counting left to go in the first quarter. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Blue Jays 26-0. Twins to the right. Hairsnape to the left. Sproul stands to the right of Melvin in shotgun. There's a snap to Melvin. They hand it off to Sproul. He's hit in the backfield by, well, the entire front line of the Smith Center Redmen this time. As, well, looks like Aaron Moss got in there as well from that middle linebacker position along with Spees and Hobelman to bring Sproul down.
As Sproul got the handoff, started going forward and just got hit, losing a yard on that one only, but gave everything he could, kept fighting, pushing his way forward to not go back any farther.
Well, looks like that's going to do it for the first quarter with the Smith Center Redmen on top of the Norton Blue Jays 26-0. We'll take a timeout here. We'll be back with second quarter action right after this as you're listening to Redmen Football on 92.5 KQMA.
Well, here we are. Redmen showing up really fine here. A little craziness in that defensive there where they look. Mr. Melvin got away, but I'm sure Redmen are going to be stiffing up and take things down here. Having a good time here at Norton. Brought Melvin over, running the camera that you're looking at now. And Huffer is watching, Nathan Huffman's watching, doing it for Gainesville. Of course, Peggy and Greg Hopperman are here too. Hope y'all can make it out next Friday night. Smith Center, taking on Phillipsburg at Smith Center. Should be an excellent time there for everybody involved. We're going to be streaming. Hopefully everything works out. We haven't got anything set up yet, but Greg's going to work on it tomorrow and see what he can do. Our JV volleyball tomorrow at Smith Center tournaments. If you're in Smith Center, you can come out and watch the younger JV players play. We got quite a few freshmen this year, really talented freshmen. So, of course, Tuesday night we're going to be at 2 TMP, starting at 4 o'clock, taking on TMP. And at 5 o'clock we'll be taking on Ellis, and at 7 o'clock we'll be taking on Phillipsburg.
Well, welcome back to Travis Field in Norton. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Bluejays 26-0 after the first quarter. It is Blue Jay football. I'm already trying to get the basketball season. Just week 2 of football season.
Slow down some here.
Melvin back to pass. He's under pressure. Peterson from behind sacks him in the backfield. What a great play by Ethan Peterson from his linebacker position.
Ethan Peterson quickly coming in there, making that sack on Melvin. Melvin's been doing a good job avoiding the pressure. This time the pressure got to him.
Ethan Peterson a little bit quicker than the defensive lineman. We do have it up from our other game featured on AM 1490 KKN and online at kknkqma.com. The Phillipsburg Panthers lead the Plainville Cardinals 7-3. 25 left to go in our first half here from Travis Field. The Smith is 26-0. As it looks like back to receive the punt is Colby Benoit. As the Blue Jays going to punt this one off, almost blocked by the Redmen. Benoit's going to pick it up at the 11. He's at the 15, and he's going to be brought down quickly by the Blue Jays. There's a couple different Blue Jay defenders there that time. It looks like down there was Vasura and Gasper.
And the Blue Jays quickly down there to cover up that punt. Colby Benoit, right idea grabbing it as it was in a bad position. If it would have died right where he grabbed it at, they would have been inside the 5-yard line. So he made a little bit out of nothing, fighting for yardage, and the Blue Jays able to take him down inside the 10.
Well, by far the worst starting position for the Redmen. Even the kick return that they had to start the ball game was further up than this. The 14-yard line, their own 14-yard line, is where the Redmen will start this drive as they go right to left on your radio dial, as there is a flag on the play. Didn't see that, so looks like the Redmen coaches talking things over.
Illegal formation, not a pen on the line, on the kicking team. Penalty is declined, first down.
The Redmen decided to decline that penalty as not enough men on the line, so the Redmen decided, well, we'll just take it at the 14 and see what we can do with it.
Well, it's not every day that you go to a school for high school that the ref gets a mic to kind of let us know what's going on there.
That is nice.
I'm enjoying it. The ref can relay what's going on and what the penalty is to the crowd, and we can hear it plain as day as well, so it is nice to have.
Again, the Redmen go right to left on your radio dial here in the second quarter. Wishbone set behind Buckmaster. That is Benoit, Maxwell, and Peterson. Massa tied in on the left side. Colby split out to the right. There's a snap. They're going to hand it off to Maxwell. Maxwell right up the middle. He's going to be met by a couple different Blue Jay defenders. Hayden Wolfong, one of them, along with Vasura.
Maxwell just plugging his way ahead there for a couple yards as a tough run for him, but the fullback not going to get a lot of power going forward in the first couple steps before he hits the line of scrimmage, so you have to push your way through, and Maxwell does a good job of that.
So, going to bring up second down and 9 after the gain of 1 for Heston Maxwell. 10.5 minutes left to go in the first half. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Bluejays 26-0. Wishbone set behind Buckmaster. There's a snap. They're going to hand it off to Maxwell once again. Again, not a lot going for the fullback up the middle as Smith in on the tackle that time for the Blue Jays, along with number 54, Alexander Ocker.
I think maybe in this situation, Coach Sass is just giving it to Maxwell, try to get yourself out of the shadow of your own end zone a little bit more. But it seems to be working so far here, kind of slowly moving that ball forward. I'm sure he was hoping for a few more yards off these runs.
Looks like they gave him a gain of 2 this time, so 3rd down and 7 for the Redmen. Wishbone set behind Buckmaster. As again, that is Benoit, Peterson, and Maxwell. Kugler split out to the right. Moss tied it on the left side. There's a snap. They flip it out to Peterson. He's got blockers. He's at the 20, and he's going to be brought down quickly. Nice pursuit that time by Vasura. He brought Peterson down before he could get a full head of steam behind him. As if Vasura wouldn't have brought him down, he might still be running.
Peterson was going right to that sideline. Had to give one of his own blockers a little push to get out of his way there a little bit, and that's exactly what a running back's supposed to do. If they're coming up on their blocker and he's in the way, just get him out of there whichever way you can. Peterson got that arm out there, just gave him a shove, gave him a little bit of boost that he needed to push the defender out of the way, but Vasura coming on the backside, catching Peterson's legs and dragging him down.
So, that brings up 4th down and 5 for the Redmen. It looks like Logan Zabel going to punt for the first time this year, as he didn't punt the one time the Redmen did punt last week. It was Stalker, so Zabel's punt is off. It is high end-over-end punt, and the Blue Jays pick it up at the 50. He's going to be brought down quickly there at the 49-yard line, as that was Cade Melvin. He's brought down by Austin Holbelman.
Melvin went and caught that one as he was catching. He was sliding to the ground. Austin Holbelman made a big hit off of it, though. Legal hit as he was still up in the air. But Holbelman making sure they didn't get any farther than that.
Looks like they're going to spot him back at the 50-yard line. With 8:45 left to go here in the first half, the Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Blue Jays 26-0. Melvin in shotgun. He's got twins to the left, and one man split to the left, twins to the right. As Melvin in shotgun. There's a snap. He's going to follow his blockers through the hole. He splits it out to the right, and he's still on his feet before Colby Benoit can bring him down across the 45 up to about the 43-yard line, but there is a flag on the play.
Melvin done a nice job extending that play there, letting his lineman get the block that he needed to, getting to the outside. See what this flag is, though. Otherwise, it was a good play there by the Blue Jays.
It looks like blocking the back on the Blue Jays, so that'll move them back after the nice gain by Cade Melvin on first down. It's going to push the Blue Jays back. And we will replay first down. So that pushes the Blue Jays back to the 43-yard line. So instead of second down and 3, it's going to be first down and long here. Looks like first down and about 17. As Melvin is under center, gets the snap, flips it out to Lively. He's going to try to bring it around the right side and breaks the first tackle, but only gets back. He might have got brought down in the backfield as Buckmaster and Peterson there bringing down. Looks like loss of 1 on the play, so going to bring up second down and 18. $8:10 left to go in this first half. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Blue Jays 26-0 out there on the defensive side of things for the Redmen. Looks like Kugler along with Atwood, Montgomery. Also out there is Timmons and Holbelman, Zabel, Peterson, Maxwell, Stalker along with Benoit, and Trenton Colby. So twins to the left, one man to the right. And now we have a whistle. And going to be a timeout called by the Norton Blue Jays. So we'll take one with them. 7:44 left to go in the first half. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Blue Jays 26-0. You're listening to Redmen Football 92.5 KQMA.
So hopefully everybody will be able to make it out next week to see the Redmen take on the Phillipsburg Panthers. Then the next day, the Lady Reds start their Saturday tournaments, looking at Republic County, then the Hoisington tournament, and then Concordia. So hope y'all can make it out for that. I believe that's the same as Old Settlers Day, so come on out to Old Settlers Day.
Welcome back to Travis Field in Norton. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson. 7:44 left to go in the first half. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Blue Jays 26-0 as both teams come back out here. Going to be second down and about 18 for the Blue Jays. So looks like they send Hayden Wiltfong to the left. Melvin stands in shotgun, trips to the right. That is Jones, Gasper, and Hairsnape to the right. He has Lively standing to his left as Cade Melvin. Again, Melvin is in shotgun. There's the snap. Looks left for Hayden Wiltfong. Goes left for Hayden Wiltfong and going to overthrow him and it will bring up third down and 18.
Maybe a little miscommunication there between quarterback and wide receiver as Wiltfong went to cut to the inside. Melvin went to throw it clear to the outside to the sideline. And, well, no one was there, not even a defender. So, right place if you're going to throw the ball away. But, unfortunately for the Blue Jays, looks like miscommunication.
Looks like Gasper and Sproul bring the play in for the Blue Jays. As they send Twins to the left. Twins to the right. Well, Melvin stands in shotgun. There's a snap, and he's going to follow his blocker right through the hole. Gets hit right away, but then backs his way close to the original line of scrimmage. So Melvin able to make a little bit of something out of nothing that time. Picked up a couple, and still going to bring up fourth down as he got back to the line of scrimmage. We'll call it gain of 1.
Tough run there for Melvin. Had to try to back his way through, using every little bit of force that his legs could power through the Redmond defense. Not able to get very far, though.
Trenton Colby and Colby Benoit back deep to receive the punt for the Redmen. Sumner getting set to punt for the Blue Jays. 7 minutes and counting left to go here in this first half, and the Smith Center Redmen lead at 26-0. Low punt this time, but does take a Blue Jay bounce out of bounds to the Redmen 25-yard line.
As the punter on that one, hurried by the Redmond defense as they came through there, almost getting their block on that one, but quick punt, got it out of there. Unfortunately for the Blue Jays, it was low and to the sideline again, and going straight out of bounds on them. Redmond getting another decent field position to start with.
Well, it looks like, well, the ref started at the 25, but then they spotted him down at the 20. So that's where the Redmen will start their own 27-yard line with 6:54 left to go in this first half. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Bluejays 26-0. Wishbone set behind Buckmaster. Moss tied in on the left side. Trenton Colby split out to the right. And now we have a flag. See what the flag is all about here. As the refs coming together to talk about what this flag is all about. And going to wave it off. So, after it's all said and done, still 1st and 10 from the Redmond 27-yard line.
Well, I wasn't sure what the ref's seen over here, as it was a close ref, and I was looking right down the line. And I didn't see anything, but the ref launched the flag high in the air, must have seen something, but evidently it was nothing.
So Buckmaster awaits the snap. There it is. They hand it off to Peterson. Peterson bounces it to the outside, and he's going to be brought down quickly. Nice job defensively that time for the Blue Jays as Sproul brings him down.
Sproul able to grab a hold of Peterson's ankles as Peterson hitting that sideline again. Sproul doing a nice job breaking down and getting low on those tackles, making sure he's grabbing ankles as Peterson's not an easy guy to bring down. He can play fullback as well, so Sproul doing a good job getting low and making sure he wraps up the ankles.
Again, Benoit, Peterson, and Maxwell, the wishbone set behind Buckmaster. There's a snap. They hand it off to Benoit this time, and he's going to be met in the backfield by a whole host of Blue Jays as they're going to push him back. A loss of about 1 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd down and long for the Redmen.
Benoit got the handoff, got back to the line of scrimmage, and was met by a host, pushing him straight back and not allowing him to try to.
Just under 6 minutes left to play in the first half. These 26-0 as the Redmen break the huddle. Griffin Kugler split. Moss split out to the right, I should say. Moss the tight end on the left side. Wishbone set behind Buckmaster. 3rd down and long. And, well, Kugler went, and so did the Norton defense. So we'll see who went first, as it is false start on the offense. And it will push the Redmen back to 3rd down and 13.
That had to be very close there. I didn't see Kugler go, but the Blue Jay defender was sitting there waving the arms, getting the arm circles going, trying to push himself back as Redmond went with a hard count, and he about went off, but Kugler must have just got him by a step.
So Trenton Colby comes back in. He's split out to the right. Moss tied in on the left side. 5:20 and counting left to go in the first half. The Smith Center Redmen lead at 26-0. Buckmaster gets the snap from Montgomery. He's back to pass. He's under pressure, and he's going to be brought down to the backfield. Nothing going that time as Wiltfong and Hawks bring him down in the backfield. So It was also Judson Wiltfong as well, so the Wiltfong brothers coming from the edges, and Christian Hawks coming up the middle to bring Buckmaster down in the backfield.
Buckmaster got a fake handoff and pulled it back and had both defenders on top of him as soon as he got that ball back where he could even bring it up to pass. So Buckmaster just had to tuck that ball into his belly and go to the ground with it.
So Logan Zabel comes back out to punt here for the Redmen. There's a snap to Zabel. Almost blocked that time by the Blue Jays. And the Blue Jays going to let this one bounce and takes a Redmond bounce to the 44-yard line where Maxwell will spot it dead there.
Zabel has a long approach on that punt, but he gets a good punt off if he has the time to. Something we kind of mentioned there way back when. He has to get a little bit quicker with it, and he has gotten quicker, but just needs to keep plugging at it and getting a little bit quicker as that one was almost blocked. Probably just missed it. Otherwise, Zabel, nice punt again.
So the Norton Blue Jays start at their own 44-yard line with 4:24 left to go in the first half. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Blue Jays 26-0. I formation behind Melvin. He's under center. One man split to the left, one man split to the right. Melvin gets the snap. They're going to hand it off to Lively. Lively off the left side. He breaks the first tackle, and then he's going to be brought down after a gain of a couple on the play. As Spies is there, Benoit is there, and a couple other Redmen coming off the pile as well.
Lively able to break that first tackle with a little swim move over top. And then as soon as he hit the hole, his legs got taken out from underneath him as a Redman came in low, hit at the legs, and Lively laid down on his back.
Just under 4 minutes left to play in the first half. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Blue Jays 26-0. One man split out to the left, one split out to the right. I formation behind Melvin as he's under center. There's a snap. Broken play. Melvin just going to keep it and try to make a little something out of nothing there, as that was looked like a broken play for the Blue Jays, and Cade Melvin able to pick up about a yard on the play. Going to bring up 3rd down and 7.
Quick thinking by Melvin there, as looked like it was supposed to be a handoff going the opposite way. No one there, so he turned and just took off for the end of the line, able to turn it upfield and get a yard off of what could have been a disaster for him.
Buckmaster, along with Montgomery, is out there. Spies is out there. Atwood, Hobelman, Peterson, Zabel, along with Maxwell, Kugler, and Benoit as they hand it off up the middle to the Blue Jays this time. Not a lot going. Picked up a couple on the play across the 50 into Redmond territory. Was Lively once again. It is going to bring up 4th down and 3. So gain of 3 on the play, that time for Lively. 2:40 left to go and counting here in the first half. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Blue Jays 26-0. See what the Blue Jays decide to do here, as they are on the Redmen half of the field. But looks like Sumner going to come out and punt this ball away, as Trenton Colby drops back deep to receive the punt this time for the Redmen. Sumner able to get this kick off. Spiraling punt. Trenton Colby loses the handle on it, jumps on it, and he's going to be marked down at about the 30, as just couldn't quite hold on to that one, as he watched it in, but unfortunately hit his shoulder pads in. That time, as it looked like the Blue Jays were coming in hot.
Trenton Colby got very lucky on that one. Like you said, he watched that ball, and like you're supposed to, that ball just came in, went right past his hands, hit his shoulder pads, and bounced right back towards the Blue Jays. And Blue Jays were coming down the field quickly. Almost got on top of that one, but Trenton Colby covered it up and held on.
So the Redmen to begin this drive at their own 29-yard line. 1st down and 10. It looks like Buckmaster going to be in the pistol. Has twins to the left, one man to the right. Maxwell stands behind him in the pistol. Buckmaster back to pass, quick pass to the right, and it's going to be dropped by Peterson, so it'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Peterson took 2 steps, turned right around, and passed it right there. Peterson watched it into his hands as well, just didn't get it clamped on quite tight enough as he started to turn with it, but fell to the ground.
Peterson to the right. Moss the tight end on the right side. Trenton Colby and Colby Benoit split out to the left. Maxwell stands behind Buckmaster. Buckmaster in that pistol set. 2:01 left to go in the first half. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Blue Jays 26-0. Buckmaster in the pistol. Awaits the snap from Montgomery. There it is. They hand it off to Maxwell. Maxwell off the right side. And he's going to pick up a couple up to the 32-yard line. So gain of 3. Going to bring up 3rd down and 7.
Maxwell with not a lot of room to go. They're able to gain 3 off pretty much fall forward. Otherwise, no room for Maxwell to go through that line.
26-0, the Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Bluejays. 1:40 and counting left to go in the first half. Twins left, one man to the right. Maxwell stands behind Buckmaster. He's back to pass. Looks right, goes right for Trenton Colby just over his head. And out of his reach. It's going to bring up 4th down and 7.
As that was a nice pass. As, well, had the wide receiver right where he needed him, just put it too high. Otherwise, Buckmaster put that one where he needed to.
Jones drops back deep to receive the punt, along with Melvin. Zabel back to punt for the Redmen. 4th down and 7 from their own 32-yard line. That's what the Redmen face. 26-0 is our score. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Bluejays with 1:29 left to play in this first half. Great punt, end over end by Zabel this time. Drops down at the 35, takes a Redmen bounce inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line.
Great punt there by Zabel, getting that ball downfield quickly, but there is a late flag on that one as the Redmen had already picked it up, and then a flag comes in.
So we'll see what the flag is all about here.
Well, there's 2 flags on the play.
As the refs discuss things to sort these flags out. As it's going to be a personal foul on both sides. So those should offset each other.
Penalty and just got pushed back.
So it's going to bring up 2nd down and 16 as the Redmen trying to move players in and out. It looks like the Redmen going to have to take a timeout here. So with 55 seconds left to go in the first half, we'll take a timeout with them as you're listening to Redmen Football on 92.5 KQMA. Welcome back on this Friday evening. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson from Travis Field in Norton as we await both teams to come back out here after the timeout. Taking a look at some of the scores that we have reported in here so far for you. It looks like the TMP Monarchs lead the Ellis Railroaders 7-0. Also, Central Plains leads at the half over Victoria 12-0. That's a battle of ranked teams. Also, Hoxie leads Osborne 28-6. Phillipsburg leads Plainville 14-3. The last score we had in from Logan Palco, they lead Wheatland Grinnell 20-6. So there's a few scores to pass along to you on this Friday evening. As Norton Bluejays come back out, they face 2nd down and 16 from their own 35-yard line. Melvin drops back to pass, looks left, looks right, now rolls to his left. He's under pressure and tries to avoid a couple Redmen defenders, does so. He's at the 20, and he's finally going to be brought down. A huge loss here as the ball was originally at the 35-yard line. He's going to be brought down all the way back at the 22-yard line. So a loss of about 17 on the play, and now it's 3rd down and forever. As Melvin gets the snap once again, they hand it off to the running back. As that is Sproul lowers his shoulder, he's going to pick up a couple back up to the 34-yard line.
Bring up the middle by Sproul.
So Sproul able to get a nice gain on the play. Got back almost all those yards from the sack. And we have 13 seconds left to go here in the first half. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Bluejays 26-0. So we have officials timeout here.
Timeout.
We saw the carnage and we're like,
Well, excuse me. It is a timeout called by the Blue Jays, as the refs want to put some time back up on the clock here. So we'll just keep this one here as we just came back from a timeout. So it looks like we have another score to pass along. Hayes leads Great Bend 7-6. How Thunder Ridge is doing at Washington County, Robbie?
Well, Thunder Ridge right now up 12-0 over top of Washington County with 11 seconds left in the first half.
So not too bad. The Longhorns has knew it might be a little bit closer of a game with Washington County, their first year in 8-man. Seems like when a team drops down to 8-man, they have pretty good success in that first year.
I experienced that very well when Thunder Ridge first came into, well, becoming Thunder Ridge. That's when we dropped down Hill City, Quinter. Well, we got thrown in the same district with all those guys. It was a tough district then, and, well, you're right. That first year in, they seem to come in and think that they're the bigger dogs, and it adds a little bit more fire to them all throughout the season, and they do a good job.
So 4th down and long here for the Blue Jays, as it looks like Sumner going to be back to punt. Back deep to receive the punt is Trenton Colby and Colby Benoit for the Redmen. As we get set here for action, the Smith Center Redmen lead the North first half 26-0. As we just await the final seconds of the timeout to tick off here. Now the referee talking to Coach Melvin. Looks like 13 seconds left on the clock. Looks like adding a few seconds here, back up to 16 seconds on the clock is where we are after the timeout. Sumner back deep to punt for the Blue Jays. Again, Trenton Colby and Colby Benoit back deep to receive the punt for the Redmen. Sumner will punt left to right on your radio dial. There's a snap. It goes over his head, and Sumner going to be hit by Montgomery, and the Blue Jays going to fall on it at the 16-yard line with 9.6 seconds left.
Almost a major disaster there for the Blue Jays, as one of the Redmen came in, done the right thing, and just aimed for the punter, knocked the ball back free, and one of the Blue Jays thankfully was paying attention and got back there on top of that. Otherwise, the Redmen were ready to scoop and score with two players right there coming on top of that.
Joel Montgomery, the Redmond player in there that time, he almost blocked the last punt this time. He almost picked that ball up and was able to hit Sumner, so he couldn't pick the ball up, and it will be Redmond football. 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line, from the Norton 16-yard line, with 9 seconds left in the first half. The Redmen come out. Wishbone set behind Buckmaster. There's a snap, high snap this time, and Buckmaster just falls on it. And I believe, well, let's see if Coach Sass calls a timeout here. 4.4 seconds left to go in this first half. Brings up 2nd down and very long for the Redmond. Ball all the way back at the 26-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 20 now. After that loss, as the snap went over Buckmaster's head, he was able to fall on it at the 26. So again, the line to get is the 6. So 2nd down and 20 is what the Redmen will face. 4.4 seconds left to go in the first half, and the Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Bluejays 26-0. See what Coach Sass has drawn up here for the Redmen offense, and see what the Blue Jay defense has to try to prevent the Redmen from getting another few points on the board here.
First, the Redmen want to score here, but you got to kind of wonder, maybe they'll just come out, let the clock run out, take a knee, go into halftime up, and try to work out the kinks they need to. But I'm normally wrong in these situations, so they're going to do completely opposite of what I said.
Trenton Colby will be split out to the right. Wishbone set behind Reese Buckmaster. Aaron Massa tied in on the left side. Buckmaster awaits the snap. There it is. They're going to Buckmaster going to keep it himself. He's around the right side. He's up to the 20. Stiff arm at the 15, and he's still on his feet and down to the 10-yard line. But that's going to do it for the first half with the Smith Center Redmen up 26-0. So we're going to take a timeout here, and we'll be back to wrap up the first half for you right after this. Redmen football 92.5 KQMA.
Well, Redmen working hard there, making things happen. Good to see team come out and show up like this against the Norton Bluejays. So, some of our sponsors are Benita Tompkins Memorial, Huffman Floor Covering, the People's Bank, State Line Properties, Michael Shannon McDowell, attorney at law, they're in beautiful downtown Smith Center, Burke and Kim Phelps, John Overmiller, Midwest Family Health and Smith Center, Jones Machinery, Gary and Brenda Freeling, Simmons Rentschler Mortuary, Opal Hall Memorial, Neil and Karen Herndon, Ken and Diane Depperschmidt, Kingsbury Service, Marty and Rhett Kingsbury, Catherine McCary, Dennis and Judy Schmidt, the Holtis Boys, the Eye Care Center, Ruth Dietz Memorial, and Midwest Chiropractic. So, hope you patronize our sponsors, and if you'd like to be a sponsor, you can send money to Smith Center Junior Senior High School, Smith Center, Kansas, 300 Roger Barter Way, Smith Center, Kansas, 66967. We'd really enjoy using your money, put it to good use here to move things forward. So we're going to watch some halftime here for all of you who are watching out there. So here we go. The Norton Blue Jay team.
Our drum major this year is senior Micah Casson. Micah is in her second year as acting drum major for the NCHS band and doing a terrific job. Our opening selection this evening is entitled Spirit of America and is arranged by Alan Gray and Carl Major. There are two songs in this piece.
Now we'll record the halftime.
We hope you enjoy.
Just pause it.
Because I always said I think it was right. And always been right there. No, I like this bad.
Band. Smells Like Teen Spirit is a song by American rock band Nirvana. It is the opening track and lead single from the band's second album, Nevermind, from 1991, released on UGC Records. Smells Like Teen Spirit was Nirvana's biggest hit. The unexpected success propelled Nevermind to the top of the charts at the start of 1992 and marked as the point where grunge entered the mainstream. This arrangement is by Michael Brown, and we hope you enjoy it. The center fans, at this time, we invite you to rise to your feet as we pass the center fight song. Go you Northwestern go, or go you Redmen go. The NCHS band will march across the field, perform the letters, and sing chorus and song. Go you Redmen go. Blue Jay fans, now it's your turn. Please stand and clap along to your own school song, Onward Norton. Join in when the band members yell, NCHS, the drum major will preview first list. The band will now play the Norton Community High School alma mater, written by the former NCHS band member William Ward. You are invited to sing along. Great job, guys. Our closing number this evening can be heard many times each game at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. K-State and Blue Jay fans alike, please clap along as the band closes with Wildcat Victory.
Pretty good halftime show there by the Norton Bluejay band.
All right, First State Bank has the community in mind.
We've got about 3:48 left on the clock there.
One of their services is reinvesting back into
State Fair is starting.
First State Bank has plans to show you the school pride by offering a Bluejay mascot.
If you want to find out what's going on in the Redmen Kingdom, I'm picking up from Mitch. You can go to www.usd237.org, and looks like we had 92 people watching at one time during that first half. We'll see if they come back after the halftime. And on the www.usd237.org, go to athletic calendar. Tomorrow, JV volleyball, Beloit, Concordia, Phillipsburg, Republic County, Hayes, TMP. JV football against Norton at Smith Center on Monday. Of course, I mentioned volleyball on Tuesday. Ellis, we play TMP at 4, Ellis at 5, and Phillipsburg at 7. Staff pictures are on Wednesday. Cross country at Smith Center on Thursday, so everybody come out and watch cross country at the Smith Center Golf Course. JV junior high football and volleyball at Hayes. And little girls cheer camp will be next Friday, during the Smith Center Phillipsburg football game. And then the Redmen, the Lady Red, go to Belleville on Saturday, taking in Beloit, Clifton Clyde, Hanover, and Republic County, and a bunch of others, I'm sure. So, catch up on everything that's going on in Redman land. Enjoy the festivities here. Redmen ahead, 26-0. Don't forget, if you'd like to be a sponsor, you can send money. I'd like to thank the Timmons, Glenn and Pam, and the Timmons Brothers Farms for the generous donation from last year. And of course, Ruth Dietz Memorial, the Bernita Tompkins Memorial, and the Opal Hall Memorial. So that money was greatly appreciated. We were able to buy a good computer and a camera last year. I'm streaming right now. Thanks to Nextech also for all your cell phone needs. I'm using my cell phone right now to stream this out to the World Wide Web. And it seems to be working pretty good. The computer froze up though. This is a different computer than the one we typically use. Greg has allocated the other computer out to someone and he can't find it. So we're going to start digging around through some rooms and find our good computer with the faster processor and more memory. But if you'd like to contribute, you can send money to Smith Center Junior Senior High, Smith Center, Kansas, 66967. Oh, I'm sorry, 300 Roger Boderway, Smith Center, Kansas, 66967. Well, it looks like we're about ready to go back in action. I guess we have 3 more minutes. I don't understand why they do that. They'll run the clock off and then they add 3 minutes to it. Norton's not even out on the field yet. And I believe that we're going to be having Old Settlers Day in about 3 weeks. And of course that will be, I think that's when we are at Hoisington or Concordia. We used to play Concordia in October, but just the way the schedule worked out, I think we're playing at Concordia the week of Old Settlers Day, so maybe we'll get back earlier than we typically do from Hoisington, so we can enjoy some of the late night festivities anyway. Thought maybe Robbie and Jesse would be back on the air. They must be running some more commercials, or they forgot to turn their battery pack back on. Quite a bunch of people come out of here to Norton to watch this football game here. Kind of a nice, cool evening, but at least it's not raining on us. I'll see if I can find Greg and have him text them to make sure that their transmitter's on. Where's Greg at?
And welcome back here to Travis Field. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson as the Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Bluejays 26-0 as we get set for the second half. Robbie, let's get your keys to victory.
Well, starting with the Redmen, they got to continue pounding the rock. They've done a good job there in that first quarter of moving the ball, moving it just on the ground, and doing a good job. Their offensive line won the trenches in that first quarter. Second quarter, it was a back-and-forth battle. That's the second one for the Redmen. They got to win those trenches. That trench war has got to be theirs to win this game. As the Norton Bluejays doing a good job making sure they get a good defensive push into that backfield, so they got to make sure that they win those trenches for the Redmen. And then they got to stay fired up. They can't go flat on themselves. Looked like maybe a little bit there in the second quarter. They're getting a little winded and kind of going a little flat there a little bit. So they got to make sure that they stay fired up and stay focused in this game. And then for the Blue Jays, they can't give up the big plays. That is what's got the Redmen this 26-point lead right now, is 3 big plays. Otherwise, the score would be 4 big plays. Otherwise, the score would be sitting at, well, 0-0 if you take those 4 big plays away. The Redmen haven't, when they've taken the big plays away, they haven't scored the ball. So the Blue Jays have to make sure they're taking those away and then stay positive. Yes, you're down 26-0. You can score 26 points in half very easily. You got to stay focused and stay confident in yourselves, and that's what I have for both teams here.
All right, the Blue Jays back out onto the field. So are the Redmen. Melvin and Jones back deep to receive the second half kickoff, as it looks like Aaron Moss getting things teed up here for the Redmen. Because now we got to get all resituated here before the second half starts. As it looks like we are just about set here for second half action. There is Moss's kick. A nice deep kick here as it's going to send Melvin back to the 6. He's at the 10, follows his blockers to the 15 up to the 20, and that's where he's going to be met by a couple different Redmen defenders. And Caden Melvin going to be brought down there at the 20-yard line.
I was talking about that wedge for the Norton Blue Jays there. All in the first half there. That time, that wedge didn't create a gap at all. The Redmen figured out that wedge and made sure it got stuffed and, well, right into the backs. Their returner went, and he went right down because of it.
So, 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays from their own 20-yard line. Out there for the Redmen defense, it is Kugler along with Benoit, Colby, also Buckmaster in the secondary, Maxwell, Moss and Peterson, the linebackers, the Timmons, Atwood, Montgomery, and Holman, the defensive line. And Melvin under center for the Blue Jays. I formation behind him. Melvin gets the snap. They're going to hand it off to Lively. Lively's going to pick up a couple fumble on the play, but it looks like the Blue Jays may have been able to jump on this one as Lively got through the line, picked up 5, and then fumble on the play. And it does look like the recover it. Going to bring up 2nd down and about, see where they spot him down at. 2nd down and 2. So right place, right time, that time for the Blue Jays as one of the offensive linemen able to jump on that ball. Nice carry, though, for Lively. Good job defensively for the Redmen to strip it.
You're exactly right. Lively had a great run on it. The Redmen able to get a hold of it and strip it out of there, but Blue Jays able to recover that fumble.
I formation behind Melvin. 2nd down and 2 for the Blue Jays. There's a snap. Handoff again goes to Lively off the left side. He's going to fall forward for the 1st down. Brought down by Timmons along with Hobelman and Atwood, but not until Lively picks up the 1st down up to the Blue Jay 32-yard line.
Lively doing a good job on that one, following his blockers, able to get into the backs of his blockers to create a little bit more, kind of hide himself a little bit more, and spring to the outside and get a couple extra yards once he got there. Otherwise, Lively doing a good job following those blockers to create the hole.
10:45 left to go in the 3rd quarter. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Blue Jays 26-0. Melvin under center, high formation behind him. There's a snap. They hand it off to Lively once again off the right side. lowers his shoulder, fights for extra yards, and he's going to be brought down at the 37-yard line. Nice run again here by Ryan Lively as he's shown up here in the second half. They keep handing it off to him. He fumbled right off that first handoff, but Coach Melvin, keep feeding him, get his confidence back, and he's having a nice drive so far.
Lively is becoming alive here in this quarter, or in this drive, as, like you said, just keep feeding him, get his confidence back, and is doing a great job. He's building it, and he's doing good, getting forward momentum going for him. 3
plays this drive, all Ryan Lively. He picked up the first down, and now up to a 2nd down and 4 after the gain of 6 on that first down. Melvin under center. There's the snap. He's going to quarterback keep right up the middle. He's going to get up to the 40-yard line. Going to be short of that first down marker. It's going to be 2nd down and a long 1, short 2. Or excuse me, 3rd down and a long 1, short 2.
Nice job there by Melvin. Just got the snap and followed his center straight forward. At the end of it, you see the center just kind of pop out, roll on the ground as Melvin goes down. But otherwise, good little play call and kind of throw the defense off a little bit.
Hare Snape to the right, Gasper to the left. I formation behind Melvin as he's under center. There's the snap. Going to keep it himself. Goes right up the middle. Going to pick up the first down. They're going to spot him down at the 43-yard line.
Well, not a bad placement to call for the quarterback sneak again on that one, as normally you see it in those short yardage situations like that on 4th down. But bring it out on 2nd down, got a good chunk of it, brought it right back on 3rd down to get that first down.
9:15 left to go in the 3rd quarter. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Bluejays 26-0. 1 man to the left, 1 to the right. I formation behind Cade Melvin as he's under center. He awaits the snap. Melvin gets the snap. They hand it off to Lively. He goes off the right side. He's going to be met quickly this time right at the line of scrimmage. Looks like he's going to gain about a foot on the play as Holman comes off the bottom of the pile with Ryan Lively.
Holman came from that end spot right down the line of scrimmage, able to meet Lively right as Lively was hitting the hole, but Holman, a bigger guy, taking him straight to the ground.
Looks like they're going to give him a gain of 1 on the play. 2nd down and 9. 8:38 and counting left to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Bluejays 26-0. Hare Snape to the right. 1 man to the left. I formation behind Melvin as he's under center. Melvin awaits the snap. There it is. They've pitched it out to Lively. He's met in the backfield. Nothing going this time. Great defensive effort by Ethan Peterson as he met Ryan Lively in the backfield. They're going to bring him down at the 39-yard line. So loss of 5 on the play. Going to bring up 3rd down and long here for the Blue Jays.
Peterson read that play perfectly, met Lively as Lively was hitting the edge of that line of scrimmage and just rolled him around and took him straight to the ground. Peterson, good job on reading that play.
Third down and long here for the Blue Jays as Lively will stand to the left of Melvin. 1 man split out to the right, 1 to the left for the Blue Jay offense. There's the snap. Melvin's back to pass. He's looking over the middle, goes over the middle, and it's picked off by Zabel. Zabel has it down the Redman sideline, and he's going to be brought down at the Blue Jay 32-yard line. Welcome back, Logan Zabel, as Logan went to Rock Creek the 2nd half of last year. He's back. He played pretty well last week. Now he's got his first interception of the season.
Glad you can figure out who he is out there. He cut his hair while he was at Rock Creek, and now he's hard to recognize out there. Normally you just look for the hair and you can figure out who he is, but cut his hair, and he's doing a good job here at that, well, one of the middle linebacker spots there for this Redmond team.
So ball at the Blue Jay 32-yard line is where the Redmen will start with 7:35 left to go in this 3rd quarter. The Redmen lead it 26-0. Wishbone set behind Buckmaster. They hand it off to Maxwell. Maxwell pulls his way forward all the way up to the 26-yard line.
That is Maxwell's biggest run of the night here, and it was a bull rush of a run as he just lowered his shoulders and just pushed a couple people back.
So it's going to bring up 2nd down and 4. We'll call it gain of 6 for Heston Maxwell. 7:10 left to go in this 3rd quarter. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Blue Jays 26-0. Kugler split out to the right. Wishbone set behind Buckmaster. Low snap. They hand it off to Moss. Moss bulls his way forward close to the first down marker. So back-to-back fullback handoffs, and the Redmen fullbacks doing well as Aaron Moss picks up the first down.
Well, Moss, we noticed last week as he came in for Maxwell, as Maxwell went out injured, Moss He is a decent fullback as well. He kept his shoulder pads low and was running over players bigger than him. It's not very often that you get to say that you got ran over by a kicker.
As it looks like Kugler split out to the right. Colby Benoit, Trenton Colby, and Aaron Moss, the wishbone set behind Buckmaster. Logan's able to tight end on the left side. First down and 10 for the Redmen from the 21-yard line. They hand it off to Moss once again, and Moss going to be brought down after the gain of a couple.
This time Moss got kind of bottled up there just a little bit, able to spring out of it and gain a couple off of it.
Looks like they're going to mark him down at the 19-yard line. So second down and 7 after the gain of 3. Here comes the Redman offense as Christian Hawks runs into the ball game for the Norton defensive line. Kugler split out to the right. Wishbone set behind Buckmaster. He's able to tight end on the left side. There's a snap. They hand it off to Peterson off the right side. He's met quickly in the hole. Not a lot going. Maybe a gain of 1 that time. Nice job by the Norton defense on that play. As Peterson balled it up quickly. And now Peterson's slow to get up. So we hope everything is all right with Ethan Peterson after he picked up 1 on the play. We're going to go ahead and take a timeout here for injury. And we'll be back with more third quarter action right after this as you're listening to Redman Football on 92.5 KQMA.
Bring it back in here. Looks like going to have a timeout. People are going to be talking to each other, figuring out what's going on. So hopefully everyone will be able to come out and watch Lady Red on Tuesday. And cross country is going to be at the golf course on Thursday. And of course, little girls cheer will be at Phillips during the Phillipsburg Smith Center game. Just checked in. It looks like Phillipsburg is ahead of Plainville 17-3. It looked like Ethan may have had some blood problems there in his mouth. He came over and wiped his mouth. It looked like there was blood on the towel, but hopefully he's all right there.
Well, welcome back to Travis Field. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson. During that timeout, they did say that the Redmen got called for holding, so that pushes the Redmen back. Second down and long. The ball spotted at the Blue Jay 28-yard line. The first down marker setting at about, looks like the 12-yard line. So second down and about 17 here for the Redmen as Peterson was able to walk off under his own power. So we hope everything is all right with Ethan. As the Redmen come out, wishbone set behind Buckmaster. Second down and long. They hand it off to Trenton Colby. He bounces it to the outside and falls forward up to close to the 25-yard line.
Nice job there by Trenton Colby following his blockers around, getting out to the outside there. Able to gain about 3 yards off of it. So Colby getting into the game, getting the carry right away.
So it's going to bring up third down and long for the Redmen. And call a gain of 3 on the play for Trenton Colby. Just under 5 minutes left to play in the third quarter. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Bluejays here at Travis Field in Norton 26-0. Buckmaster awaits the snap. There it is. He's going to roll out to the right. He's under pressure. Looking to pass. Gets the pass off, but, well, they are going to say Trenton Colby caught it. Gain of just a couple on the play, though, up to the 22-yard line. So call a gain of 3 back to the original line of scrimmage. So fourth down and 10 for the Redmen with 4:20 and counting left to go here in the third quarter. The Smith Center Redmen lead the Norton Bluejays 26-0 here at Travis Field in Norton. Looks like the Redmen will be going for it as Reese Buckmaster brings the play in for the Redmen offense.
Redman might have got by with one there. I thought the ball hit the ground, but the ref had a decent angle on it, so he might have been able to see something that I couldn't from up here. But I think they might have got by with that.
So Kugler split out to the right. Zabel tight end on the left side. Buckmaster back to pass. He's looking, has his man over the middle. It's Kugler just out of his reach. Incomplete pass, turnover on downs. Big stop there for the Norton defense.
The Blue Jays defense came up big there for him and getting that stop. Buckmaster had the open wide receiver, just led him too far. The Blue Jay defense accredited with that because the front pressure doing a good job getting in Buckmaster's face and making him get rid of that ball quickly.
So the Blue Jays take over at their own 22-yard line with 3:53 left to go in this third quarter. These lead the Norton Blue Jays 26-0. As Melvin going to be in shotgun. Lively stands to his left. One man split out to the right, one man split out to the left for the Blue Jay offense. There's a snap to Melvin. They hand it off to Lively. He tries to bounce to the outside. Nothing going there as the Redman defense bring him down inside. That was Spees that brings him down to the backfield behind the 20-yard line back to the 19. That's a 3 on the play.
Lively went to bounce out there. Speed's just able to grab a hold of that one ankle and pull him down. Lively probably doing the right thing there instead of trying to fight it. Just going down and not allowing the Redman defense to come in there and try to swarm him.
So 2nd down and 13 for the Blue Jay offense as Hairsnake going to be split out to the right. It looks like Gasper to the left. Lively stands to the right of Melvin in shotgun. 2nd down and 13 for the Blue Jay offense. Melvin rolls right. Looking to pass, still looking. Now he's under pressure. Going to get the pass off over the middle, and it's picked off by Heston Maxwell. Maxwell going to be brought down quickly here. 2nd interception, and then a late flag comes in after the play. We'll see what this flag is all about as they're going to mark Heston down at about the 24-yard line, but we'll see what the flag is all about.
Maxwell came in just out of nowhere on that one, able to just run right through there, pick the ball off, and take off upfield with it all in stride. Maxwell, not sure where he came from, but good job by Maxwell in reading the play.
Looks like personal foul on the Blue Jays.